394 horsepower and 600 newton meters of torque to 450 horsepower and 690 newton meters of torque. So that is a very nice little increase for, you know, a relatively easy and affordable modification. So today I'm going to show you around it. We'll take a quick look at the car and the spec, and then we'll take it for a drive towards the Autobahn for an Autobahn blast. So 545e hybrid, of course, an absolutely gorgeous car. I think this is the facelift 5 Series G30 peak BMW, if you ask me, both exterior wise, interior wise, drivetrains, but also quality, materials. Yeah, it does not get better than this. So always nice to drive one, and this is a nice carbon black paint, very nice with all the black accents, black wheels. It's kind of a murdered out car, but still you have this carbon black, which is sort of a dark blue, so that definitely adds a bit of color. Big black grille, of course, and the new LED headlights with the new daytime running lights for the facelift. We've got these, are these performance wheels? I think so. This is a different wheel with around that Goodyear Eagle F1 tires. This is a 245 on a 19-inch wheel. Behind that, the M Sport brakes. The car has an M package, so you can also see that it's got different bumpers and stuff like that. It's got the annoying automatic lock and unlock, but don't mind that. So at the rear we've got black badging as well, X-Drive and 545e. Beautiful trapezium shaped exhaust. You do lose out on a bit of boot space in a 545e because the battery pack is under the floor here, so this is not very big. Compared to a regular petrol or diesel 5 Series sedan, you go from 530 to 410 liters. So that is quite a big price to pay, I would say, practicality wise. You cannot have a touring 545e. I've said this before, I don't understand why they've done that. You can have a 530e, you can have an X545e, but no 545e touring, unfortunately, so you have to do it with 410 liters. Also another drawback, very small fuel tank, 46 liters. Other than that, perfect car. Now we've got the B58 inline 6 here, which is pretty damn awesome. 286 horsepower in this 545e. Combine that with 109 horsepower electric, you've got 394 horsepower and 600 newton meters of torque, and as I said, with a tuning box you end up at 450 horsepower and 690. You can do up to like 55 kilometers of electric driving, which is a little bit less than in the X5 45e, which is I think 88, 89, something like that. So yeah, that is also a little bit of a drawback, but this car is a lot more affordable, of course, than an X5 45e. But this combination of B58 and electric power is really good. Now, interior wise, as I said, this for me is peak BMW. You've got a regular steering wheel, not that weird new stuff with the weird things going on here, not too many buttons. The leather feels good. In general, I feel like the materials used in this Generation 5 Series are just of a much higher level, and this is not even like the full BMW individual leather. This is just a regular Dakota leather, I think, but still all the materials, everything, the window switches, the door handles, everything feels so much more premium than that new 5 Series. It's crazy. Also, this is recognizable BMW. I think this is the best version of this like setup for the climate, and the audio and the shortcut buttons you've got there are also super handy. You get a bigger screen, of course, for the facelift, but it's not an overload of screens, I would say. And you start up in hybrid mode, but we're going to go for sport. ZF8 speed, of course, which is perfect as always. And well, the driving experience of a 545e is already pretty great. It's a super comfortable yet quick car. There's no real like B58 sound like you get with an M340i or something like that, but still it doesn't sound bad. And also there's a little bit of fake sound being pumped into the cabin, but not that much. It's not over the top, I would say. But when you add to this 545e this little boost of power, 54 horsepower and 90 Newton meters from this tuning box, it is so nice. The pace just increases so quickly, and because you have that initial boost of e-power, you have just immediate torque, and it's just such a nice driving experience. And that goes for like if you're driving, you know, in a spirited fashion, but also when you drive it regularly, it just is a very smooth and, I don't know, a very natural driving experience. Of course, with this boost in power, it just, yeah, the B58, it has a lot of torque already, but when you add to that immediate boost, it just takes away all the turbo lag and all the lag in general. It's very, very good. Also, I think this car has been judged to perfection by BMW. You have a hint of 6-cylinder sound, but it's still very, very comfortable. I mean, it's a really good daily. It's a good car to do, you know, holidays with, stuff like that. It's hard to beat, to be honest. Okay, so sport traction mode, sport gearbox, sport driving mode. That means that we have launch control. There we go. That's 100 kilometers an hour. So stock, the car does 4.7 seconds, and we measured 4.2 with this one, which is pretty impressive. It also likes to slide around a little bit in this damp weather, which is kind of nice. It's such a good car. Also, the steering is perfect. They've drifted a long way from this. It's really, really hard to sort of understand, because this is a very, very good car. It's very hard to find fault with it, to be honest. It does everything really well. Alrighty, let's hit the Autobahn and see what it's like. Because of course, with a tuning box, you cannot do anything about the top speed limiter. So this still has a limiter at 250 kilometers an hour, unfortunately. Now, you can also unlock the ECU and do a proper ECU tune and get rid of that speed limiter. And I mean, if anyone has one, you know, a properly tuned 545e with a downpipe, and let us know, because we're very eager to drive one, because I think that would just be an absolute weapon of a car. Again, you know, that e-power boosting the B58, it works really well. It's not crazy fast or anything like that, it's just, it moves. 100 to 200 we did a 10-second run, which is very impressive. With the stock car we did 11.7. So yeah, that is a very, very healthy increase for just 54 horsepower from the tuning box. So yeah, not really too unhappy about that either. Performance is very good. And also, it runs well. So there are no, you know, hiccups. It's just a 545e with some extra oomph. Which, you know, who can be mad about that? This is the limiter, 253, which is just shy of 250 real GPS kilometers, unfortunately. Something that we saw more often with BMW during these years, but yeah. Oh. That e-boost is right at the top of your pedal. You can also see it activating on my rev counter there. So there goes e-boost. It's so nice because you have an immediate acceleration with very little throttle, but also it's super silent and quiet, and it works really, really well. So, quite impressed with this car. I mean, I know I love a 545e, but this DT